Jaded, Herein, Episode 1. The beginning of the end. Open house sequence. Long stretching swaths of clouds pull in from above, eclipsing the city that arose from the desert below. Swirling, searching and encircling. Hungry. Wind speeds increase, centered around a singularity. A storm is forming. Bolts of white energy feverishly shoot out from the epicenter in all directions. Water and free radicals rain down, thrashing the sides of concrete buildings abundant in this arid climate. Distant in the city, a baby looks up from their rocking wooden crib to the emblazed nightly scene displayed through their window. They chuckle at the sight of the ghostly center of the churning storm. It is calling to them, and they are calling to it. Sky, getting used to the newly issued curfew, is rushing home to make it on time. In their defense, they only went out to get the dinner supplies their dad asked for. Those rounds of kickball in between were necessary to ensure the possibility of making some much-needed friends. Sky remains, like usual, optimistic, even if they think they made a complete fool of themselves by catching the ball with their face on multiple occasions. Overall, Sky continues to cling on to the fact that it was only a first impression to an entire group of strangers. They will have a plethora of opportunities to embarrass themselves in the future. Maybe they will pity me? This may be a new low, Sky thinks, almost laughing as they approach the front door of their home with a squash in hand. Sky enters just as their mom finishes with her application for a school board position. Their dad, in the kitchen, is setting up for dinner. All is like usual. Sky, their mom's usual sharp and confident tone has softened. She catches Sky's attention and faces them. A pause. She then smiles, barely, and speaks. "Go help your dad in the kitchen, sweetie. He's waiting to start." "Sure thing." Sky smiles ecstatically, entering the kitchen. "You got the squash?" "Yes, one large kabocha squash coming up, chef." Sky starts to giggle after shouting the last chef. This little performance between father and child is done every time the two make any dish with squash. This very performance is likely the reason why Sky is, ever so slightly, closer with their dad. Their mom's general put-togetherness and inner discipline acts as a shield towards connection. It's either that or getting first dibs from their dad when taste testing. Their mom really does enjoy the show of bonding and loudness. It's just she does so in 2 rooms over. "Prepare the workstation, chef." "Yes, chef." Sky then turns the valve of the gas stove and quickly lights a match to catch the fire. In assistance, their dad hands Sky a pot of water to start. "Now, we wait for it to boil." "But why do I have to go to an open house? I've already gone to that school for 2 years. Sky sulks over their dinner. Admittedly, it's all delicious. It surprises Sky every time their parents manage to make a meal out of a few ration stamps. But they won't let this bribe sway them. Sky's mom hasn't eaten much, and you can see her grinding over words to say. She remains at a loss. "We will go out sometime if you go to the open house, Sky. Your mom told me about..." Sky's dad begins stepping in. Sky's mom turns her head towards the dad in reaction, though the dad doesn't stutter, only slowing a bit. How important going to the open house this school year is, since they'll be hosting a stamp raffle and there's been some administration changes. "Okay, but only if you come to walk me back early, and you always promise we'll go out and never do." The dad sucks in air through his teeth. The family rarely goes out. Much like everyone in this district, families stay in their tight circles out of preservation. Children and teens are different, wanting nothing more but to be outside until sundown. Yet, eventually they all learn the same as the adults. "I promise you, Sky, and you can make some friends at the open house tonight." "Okay." Sky reluctantly smiles at their dad's ploy. Sky's mom stands up, pushing her chair aside. "I seem to not be feeling too well. Sorry. Have a bit of a headache. I'm heading to bed now." She makes her way to Sky, kissing their forehead. On her way down, her glossy eyes meet her husband's. He's in denial. He cheerfully finishes his dinner. "Good night, Mom," Sky says, emulating their dad, finishing their own dinner. "Good night, sweetie." Sky pushes heavy industrial doors that then click behind them, venturing into the assembly room that awaits. Sky's familiar with the brutalistic architecture of the school, hearing it described as futuristic on occasion. They've drawn this exact room before, finding the metal arches on the concrete walls great for cross-hatching. Sky takes note of the indescript rectangular seams slightly inlit on the walls, remembering them being a pain to draw in the right perspective. Usually, Sky loves being at school. It's strict, yes, authoritarian at most times, but every once in a while, either after a test or in the halls, people let their personalities shine. Everything seems brighter than to Sky. However, now is not one of those bright times. Chill autumn air sweeps in through the room as more students around Sky's age funnel in like cattle to find their own metal folding chair. Sky takes a seat of their own in the front row, facing the wall across from the entrance that leads deeper into the school. Sky assumes that there would be authority to direct them by now, but there are only students. Sky looks to the left out of boredom. Nothing new. They follow the metal arches up the ceiling, squinting as their eyes cross over the floodlights overhead. They then make it to the right of the room. Someone just sat next to me. This is my one chance. Was my dad right? He never usually is. Sky thinks to himself, disoriented by this flush of excitement. Sky turns their body to face this new stranger. There's this gleam emanating off of the person, a shine invisible but nonetheless affecting the eyes. A kingship, perhaps. A shared something Sky can't place. In this potential friend, Sky can tell that this radiance, whatever it may be, was cobbled alone. Sky then takes a moment to begin their ritualistic process of preparing for conversation with someone new. Hey, Sky takes a beat to recover. Sky. I'm Sky. My name is Sky. Hi. Sky, having minimal sociable practice, wasn't anticipating losing their train of thought. This attractiveness that they feel, volatile, jocular, magnetic in nature, doesn't help their case either. More bodies fill the assembly room. Oh hey, I'm Hiroshi. Do you know what's going on here? I sorta just wandered in. Yeah, it's an open house for the new school year, but no staff is here yet. Apparently there's going to be a raffle and some other happenings. Cool, thanks. We're like best friends now. Hiroshi jokes and smiles, putting their hands in their jacket. Then, slightly later, they look around. So, what do we do now, Sky? Sky is practically shaking from excitement. They try to play it as cool as Hiroshi seems to be. Did any officials stop you on the way there? Sky's mom questions. Her sharp tone has returned. Her headache has disappeared. But now, her eyes are red, tissues in hand. She sits stiff, facing her husband on the small living room sofa. Just one check-in on the way back, but I explained where I was coming from. Sky's dad responds quickly, assuring. She sighs, dropping her head into her hands. Her hair soon follows, the ends flowing down her shoulders, draping her lap in black. She wasn't lying about needing rest. Her husband possesses a reputable excuse for being out after curfew. There is no better excuse than the school is hosting an open house, but she doesn't only worry about her husband's safety. Asuka, it'll be fine. This is what we promised we'd do if we knew Sky was... He treads into unspoken territory. Memories of bringing Sky home bubble over the edge. Even then, even as he held Sky in his hands, this day loomed in the back of his head. It's a 1% chance, Yamanu. Asuka cuts. That's just how the program is marketed. It can very well be much higher, Yamanu claims, unconvincingly. He tries again. Look, Sky will never forgive us for what we did. That's something we acknowledged back then too, Asuka says, realizing it all herself. She hardens out of necessity. She reminds herself that this is for the best. Well, first, I'd imagine a guide showing you your classes, Sky says, continuing the conversation with Hiroshi. Oh, I didn't pick out mine yet. Really? The date for class registration has passed. There has been multiple town-wide events promoting such. Sky takes note. I can help you with that later then. Sky beams. The space between the friends shortens, brightens. Hopefully we'll see the principal and then... The overhead lights cut out, shrouding the room in near complete darkness. Faint red light outlines the rectangular seams in the wall adjacent to the entrance door. A click echoes through the room and then a release. Simultaneously, all the rectangular outlines of the wall furthest from the two shoot upwards, revealing doorways that lead outside. There's a brief moment of silence as students look around for an idea of what just occurred. Then there's screams. Students are grabbed and restrained. Emergency lights intermittently flash. Droves of women and men, armored in tactical clothing, flood in from the red-lit doorway straight ahead. They continue, taking students to the same doorway they came from. Hiroshi! Hiroshi! Sky yells out, but it's hard to be heard over the stir. Hiroshi! Sky, distracted, trips over a metal chair. They are then dragged under a table. The hanging cloth of the table slightly mutes the struggle outside. Stay quiet, Hiroshi whispers. More screams are heard in the background. The ones that successfully resist are recaptured, then electrocuted with a stun baton, having nowhere to go. There's guards blocking the exit doors, so the smell of seared flesh wafts through the air. It beckons Hiroshi back to the past as a child. Hiroshi chokes on their own words. We just need to. Their surroundings then fade away, back to their own home. Images of the burning village play behind them in their head. Hiroshi can smell the ash of their own house. They can hear their own people's screams. Hiroshi, are you okay? Sky whispers, peering into their friend's unfocused eyes. Hiroshi, someone is coming. A guard flips the table. Sky is grabbed. This was a mistake. Hiroshi thinks as the world around them collapses. Why did I even come here? Hiroshi! Sky yells. Hiroshi thinks of a reason. They lignify, tapping into whatever allowed them to survive this long. Sky's hoisted onto the shoulder of a guard. They fight to no use. Tears. There aren't that many people left to capture. Another guard lunges at Hiroshi. They dodge out of the way, out of their trance, making a run towards Sky. Hiroshi takes in a deep breath. As they pick up speed, they glow. Literally glow. Shimmer. Sky has never seen something more beautiful. Then suddenly, Sky appears next to the exit, the same door as the entrance. That same shimmer fades around them. Sky looks back relieved, then horrified. 3 guards advance towards their friend. Go, Hiroshi almost whispers. Sky doesn't want to leave their friend's side. In fact, that's the last thing they want to do. Go! Hiroshi runs towards the guards, sparing Sky time. Sky slams their shoulder against the exit door repeatedly to no avail. Sky looks back to see Hiroshi, cornered by guards. They try harder at the door with tears running down their face. Just before a guard electrocutes Hiroshi, they teleport behind that same guard, kicking him down. Sky pushes harder. The metal bolt on the other side of the door locking it in place begins to shimmer and vibrate. Sky hears the scream of their friend Hiroshi as they are electrocuted until they are no longer conscious. Sky pushes harder, hands raw and slick with tears and sweat. The shimmer glows brighter, and the bolt phases out of place. Sky is free. Sky runs, guards behind them and trucks of students pulling away. My parents, Sky murmurs through a heaving breath. End.